Pradeep. Okay. I'm having around 11.5 years of experience in SAP ESG, working as a currently solution architect and involved in three SAP S4HANA implementations on premise, and then having certifications on Rise in SAP Private Edition and as well as a 1610 edition on the on premise. So coming to my support and rollout, then EDI. So um, have done six support projects. I'm involved in fact, six support projects, and then one rollout and three implementations. So I'm a multi skill person. So um, I'll work on the OTC, especially I would say SD, then also EDA. Okay, both. So coming to the introduction, so I'm going to share my screen. So please let me know if you are able to see. See, I understand from your introduction, some of you are new to SAP SAP stream, and then some of you are already having experience. You are in some support projects, then you are having some SAP experience, right? At least in SAP SD area. So our course will be covering an SAP SD and SAP S4 HANA, including the delta changes. So let us see what is an. Let us try to understand why the SAP come with a or introduce a new product into the market called SAP S4 HANA. So why can't they update the existing SAP ECC product? Okay, so I'm going to just give an just an example. Okay, so I hope you are able to see my Excel also, right? I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is an SAP ECC, right? And this is an SAP S4 HANA. So you know there is an R by 3 architecture in SAP. One is a presentation layer, right? Then application layer, followed by GB layer, right? So normally business will perform all transactions on the presentation layer. Say example, create sales order, create PO, okay, or create invoicing, so and so stuff, okay. So whatever the activities that you are going to perform on the front end screen, okay, which is called presentation layer or a GUI layer, followed by the application layer. Now, say example, there is a company called Walmart. So there will be a number of transactions daily will happen, right? So many customers will reach that store and they want to buy some products, right? All these records where they are going to store. So they are going to store in the database layer, correct? So how it is going to store in the database layer directly? No. Say example, you have created a 10K sales orders. Okay. So these 10K sales orders will be stored primarily in the tables and programs associated. Okay. These tables are nothing but coded through an ABAP. Okay. ABAP tables will store all the information of this particular data, all your transactions, right? So one such a table we call it as a VBAK. Just giving an example, okay, of a sales order header in SD module. So this particular table will store all the data of these 10,000 entries, right? Like this, there are so many hundreds of tables which are available in the SAP, including all the different kind of platforms or different kind of departments, finance, costing, asset management, then We call material management, warehouse, and so on. So many models, right? So all these models are designed based on the ABAP program and the tables, right? These are all tables information. Again, the system is going to store in the database layer. Earlier in ECC, we use some other databases, right? Oracle or SQL database. So these are non-SAP database, which means it is a third-party database. Okay. Now, what is the challenge here? Why SAP has come with an SAP is we need to understand here. So I'm going to give an example here, right? This is a transaction. I'm going to create a sales order. VA01 sales order. Okay. And the order number is a 1. Similarly, I create 2 and 3. Example. Okay. When I'm trying to create this many sales orders in the system, the information is going to store in the database on Oracle and SQL through a row based. Okay. Row. So this is a row, this is a column, right? So the existing non-SAP database has designed or had designed, no, on the row based. Whatever the transactions you enter in the system, that is going to store in the form of a row. And whenever you are trying to retrieve the information to flash or display the report, right? So it is also using same functionality called a row based. So then we call it as a one-dimensional storage type, 1D. You store the transactions to retrieve the information, both happening in the same direction. This will work fine. Okay, this will work fine until you either increase the users or increase the data or customize the current existing system. This will work fine. Okay, but as soon as you try to adapt a new functionalities, okay, or when you say example you acquired some other company, okay, so that the master data and the legacy data will come into the current system, right? So in those cases or when you're doing a customizing, okay, complex scenarios, right, the database, this particular database, an Oracle or SQL database, cannot perform a speedy transactions. So this is a main issue on the SAP ECC. Like there are I think MRP run. If you came across, I don't know. There is a MRP run. We use in a MD01 transaction code. MD01. So this particular MRP run will give you a detailed report of the particular plant material, the consumption, everything of the stock, the material, everything. Okay. So this report usually takes a time, maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Okay. Depends upon the size, the value of the data. Hence, in order to execute this report or display these values, so this report will be created through a batch job. It is scheduled job. Every midnight they are going to schedule so that it will not hurt the performance of the current SAP when we are using. Okay, so this is one kind of a report which will take a long time. Why it will take a long time? Why it can't give very quickly? Because as I said, this is a consolidation report of so much big data, right? So it should gather all the details of the different tables and should populate the report. So this report currently on SAP ECC runs on the ABAP layer. Okay, on the ABAP layer are associate tables. It MRP rated associate tables. It runs on. So hence it will take a time to flash a report. Now This report, as I said, the transactions and reporting, everything will be happen through a row based. So due to which there is a slow transaction, and slow reporting. Okay. Coming to the SAP S4 HANA. So we have the same three layer. So there is no difference. Of course, there is one more layer I'm going to explain later. But the architecture looks like same, but here instead of Oracle, we have the HANA database. So what does this HANA database will do? Okay, it will improve your performance, speed transactions and speed reporting. Why? Because we are using a row based less column, column based. So we are using row and column. So column is exclusively used for storing all the transactions, whatever you call transactions, right? These all transactions which is stored. So this is happening through column. So generally, you know the functionality of this Excel sheet. I no need to explain. So whenever you are trying to put any values on the linear column, so it try to try to store very fastly on the linear column. Okay, and similarly, same functionality is adapted in the database layer also. And row based, we are using to just to pull the data for reporting purpose. So hence we called it a 2D, two-dimensional storage instead of a one-dimensional storage. So this is a technical level, a big change in terms of a performance. The second point I want to evaluate. So in this MRP run, I explained you, right? This all the calculations will happen at a ABAP program level, right? But we use a HANA engine, okay, or HANA database. Okay, according to the new functionality, new architecture, all the calculations, including any rebates, settlements, or MRP runs, any calculations, right? So everything will happen at a DB level rather than the table level. Of course, it passes once you done the calculation, passes to tables, but primarily the calculation happens only at a database level rather than the table level. So this is a major difference between an SAP S4HANA and SAP ECC, right? So due to which SAP has come with a new functionality in this particular product called HANA, a database. They introduce a new product called a HANA database in the market. So when they introduce, so they have introduced this HANA in the 2011. So I don't know if your current organization, so probably you are in SAP ECC are doing a new implementation. Say example, if you are in SAP ECC, you can update your database. Although you are on the SAP ECC ERP 6.0 product, you can update the database to HANA database. That means ECC on top of a HANA. You can do it. Okay. So 2011, we received the SAP has introduced the first product in the market called a HANA. Then followed by consecutive years, 2012 and followed by 2013. So BI and BW use these models are used for a reporting purpose on the HANA especially. So then coming to OLTP and OLAP functionality. What it mean? Online transaction processing and online analytical processing. So online analytical processing and analytical transaction processing. So these three were introduced before your SAP S4HANA product released in the market. Okay. When the SAP S1 product released in the market, Any clues? Can you tell the correct year? 2014. So don't tell 2015. So it is a 2014. We received a simple finance in the month of November, December. Okay. Later we got a simple logistics. So 1511 it is. Okay. 1511. 2015 and year the month is 11. So this is an history of your SAP S4 HANA is a roadmap. Okay. From there, in 2015, so we have both products, simple finance and simple logistics. So say example, a company want to implement a both solutions. What he need to do? So he need to implement. He need to buy the license for logistics and finance both, right? So to avoid such kind of a issues, in 2016, so they named it as a S4 HANA and simple logistics. Later this name also changed. Okay, S4 HANA. Here S4 indicates S means suite for HANA. When I say suite, it is a product. Okay, so this product is completely different to that of your ECC, and this product has a bundle of changes in the each module. So those changes are called a delta changes. When I say delta changes means, say example, in ECC you have XD01 transaction code, right? This is used to create a master record. So what we use in SAP S4 HANA, we use a business partner, BP. Okay, so this is called a delta change. So SAP S4 HANA product is a simplified product when you compare with your SAP ECC, and SAP is going to stop the support on SAP ECC post 2027 or 2028. I don't remember correct year, but it was earlier 2025. Then they extend to 2 to 3 years again. So mostly after 2028, any issues if you are facing on the SAP ECC landscape, the production issues, SAP is not going to support you. Then customer need to mandatorily migrate to the SAP S4 HANA product. Okay, so hence nowadays customers are migrating, showing interest to move into the SAP S4 HANA from ECC or new implementations also. Okay. So any questions till now? Srinivas and Daniel or Satish. Coming to the versions. I think I'm audible light. Yeah. So please feel free to stop me if you're unable to understand. Okay. So coming to the versions. When the SAP S4 HANA product was released in the market in 2015, SAP has committed two deployment modules. Okay, two deployment types. One is a on-premise. Second one is a cloud. On-premise, the SAP is going to release a version, next higher versions. So every yearly, like 1511, 2015 November. Okay, then 1610. Okay, then 1709, 1808, 1909. Okay, or 18 not sorry, it's 1809, 1909. Okay, so from there 2020 version, then 2021 likewise. Okay, So you will get till 2025, you will get all the updated versions. So post 2025, there will be no new version. So this is the last version where SAP is going to update on the SAP S4HANA product. That means next year. Okay. Coming to the cloud. So cloud is always SAP is going to release an updated version for cloud quarterly. When I say quarterly, first version is 15.11, the next version is immediately 16.02, 16.05, and 16.08. So this is a mandatory update. If a customer who choose a cloud, he need to mandatorily update the product, just like your mobile phone. So you get some Android update, something, right? So what you do usually, so you click on the install now or install night. It will be installed immediately, right? Similarly, this is on the cloud. On-premise is an optional. If you want to update the next version, say example, I'm on a 2024 version. Okay, I'm on 2024 version, and I don't want to next from next year 2025. I don't want to update my version. So that's up to my choice. It's an optional. But whereas in the cloud, it is a mandatory. Why it is mandatory in the cloud? Because cloud is a shared space or shared server which runs through some different the middlewares, okay, like Azure something, okay, which uses a cloud as a service, okay, SaaS based it is. So coming to the point, so if you are using a cloud editions, you need to mandatorily update the higher versions, okay. But if you are in the on-premise, it's not a mandatory. What is the on-premise? It is completely opposite to the shared services. So here the server will be maintained by a vendor, okay, any vendor, like as I said, right? Azure, Microsoft Azure, some others. But whereas here on-premise, the server will be maintained by the customer who is going to implement the SAP product. He'll he'll keep the server at its own location, and he will maintain the server. So normally, maintenance cost will be there for server, like hardware, software requirements, and everything. This is all about the on-premise and cloud. Okay. So there are some other features that we are going to see now. So let me try to share my screen. Okay. See, especially the HANA database introduced into market to process high volumes of data in a real time. So when I say real time means what? When you are trying to execute any report in the live system or live environment, it should show the data immediately. Okay, without wasting our time. That is called a live or real time report, right? Which HANA has that capability to deliver the report within the minutes, where your ECC does not have, like as we discussed, the because of a row and column base and some other simplification things that we are going to see now. Okay, so there is one more example why SAP S4 HANA is more faster than compared with your ECC. So I'm going to give one more example. There is a call center which is using the SAP ECC version. The SAP ECC is running correctly and as per their expectations. They don't have any problems as of now. But as soon as they start acquiring some companies, ultimately you are going to increase the database, right? Why? Because there will be a legacy data which is coming from the acquiring company. So there are some users. There will be some customizing will be there. So ultimately, what happens? You keep on putting the pressure on your existing database, like an Oracle or SQL, whatever you saw, right? So it bound to perform a slow transaction, slow reporting. Okay. So normally, if you see some complex environments on SAP ECC, when you run some report, it will take a time. So much time it will take. Why? Because of the database you are using. To overcome this one, we are using a SAP S4HANA product. Okay. But why you are going to upgrade your product from SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA? I'm not talking about a new implementation. So here in this case, I'm talking about a migration project. That means you are on SAP ECC, you want to convert into SAP S4HANA. So in those cases, we need to understand what is an as-is architecture. There may be multiple cases. Just example I'm going to you. So you are on SAP ECC 6.0 version. Okay. And then so your database is a non-HANA or Oracle database, assume. So your product is SAP 6.0 and database in Oracle. So here, what is the process you need to upgrade the product? So it is a two-step process. Okay, two-step. Why two-step? Why? Because you are on the 6.0 version. Okay, so if you are on 6.0 version, so your database is an Oracle, and that Oracle database have the some feature, some sort of a functionality called a Unicode. Okay, I'm going to show where it is actually in the system. It is a component which will be installed on your database. So this is an SAP ECC. Okay. So if you go to system status, so this SAP ECC is an HANA database, but you see the system properties is a Unicode system. Similarly, when you are migrating from SAP ECC other than the HANA database, so this is a database, right? HANA, it's SAP old database. I'm talking about the Oracle database or SQL database. So you need to check whether your system is loaded with a Unicode or not. If your system is Unicode and 6.0 version, okay, so 6.0 version with Unicode, then it is called a two-step process. What you are doing from Oracle, you are migrating into HANA database. Then the product. So what is the product is currently SAP 6.0 version. Now you are going to move into S4 HANA. Whatever the version you choose it. So this is called two-step process. Okay. There are some cases. It is again customer to customer. Okay. Where in the same scenario. Okay. Customer is an SAP 6.0 version, not 6.0 version. Okay. He is on old versions. When I talk old 4.0. Okay. With Oracle and the Unicode. Okay. System properties you are seeing, right? This is a Unicode. So it is a Unicode, yes or no? It is a no. Okay. So in this case, so it is a three-step process. What are those three steps? First is convert your system from non-Unicode or no non-Unicode to yes means Unicode. You convert from non-Unicode to Unicode. Point number one. Point number two, your system is on non-HANA database, right? So convert into HANA database. Then you are in 4.60 version. You need to migrate into the S4HANA version. Okay. This is a three-step process. Clear? Okay. I'm going to back to my PPT. So I think everyone is silent. I'm just scared if you are understanding that now. I hope you are able to catch me, right? So coming to the SAP S4 HANA feature. So what are SAP S4 HANA product features? Other functionalities, you call it, whatever you name it. The first one is your simplification, right? Second is a delta change. Third one is HANA database. Fourth one is transition. Fifth one is a deployment. The sixth one is most important, theory. So these are the six important things we need to learn from SAP S4 HANA. So these are the six features. Whenever somebody asks you, right? So what is SAP S4 HANA? What is SAP S4 HANA? What are its features? Okay. So first is a simplification, right? What is a simplified? What is meant by simplification? I'm going to give a good example for this one. Okay. Normally, um, how many transactions you use to create a master record? At least vendor and customer. If you are working on SAP environment, right? Especially an SD model or MM model, you will be knowing how many transactions we used, what are the varieties. We use XD01 to create a complete customer, right? We use VD01 for what? For sales, to create a customer with a sales view. Similarly, use FK01 for company code.
Very good.
Company code vendor. Okay. XK01 complete. Then why we use VAP1? Contact person creations. Okay. Why use BP? Did you use BP in your EC system? It is a business
Yep.
partner, right? So these many transaction codes are there. All these transaction codes, when you are trying to execute, there is a background, a program, a screen which will be generated, and we are going to use that screen to display the values, right? So there will be so many tables, logic, okay, the program to display your values. So these many tables are there, or this many transaction codes are there to use it to create a master records. So customer, you call it as a vendor or what it may be. Why we have this many transaction codes? Because this is a legacy system or SAP legacy system, right? So there are continuous development from past 30, 40 years, and they are keep on development. They are keep on developing till 2011. Hence, you see so many different transaction codes to create a master record. But in SAP S4HANA, we don't use this set. We use only one transaction and we call it as a BP, business partner. For any master record, whatever you want to create. Either you create a business partner, you call it as a contact person, then financial services or credit management or manager, whatever you call it, right? So all things you are going to create by using only one access through BP, transaction code. That means ultimately what you are doing on the system performance. You are removing the unwanted caches. Okay. Ultimately, if you remove what happens, the system performance will be increased. Right. Similarly, same thing is happening on the SAP S4HANA. So this is called a simplification. Now let us see. So XG01 we used to create a custom master, right? So then VD01 again it shows a sales view. It doesn't show you company code view, right? So then like as I said, XK01 for vendor creations, and then you have VAP1 for contact person creations. Then also you have the BP in ECC. Also you have BP to create a business partner. But potentially the business partner does not give you the values on the ECC. Why? Because you don't have the configuration setup. Okay, to give the business partner as a customer. That means your both objects, customer object and BUPA, which is business partner, which are not linked. Hence, it gives a different screens. Okay. Now, so what you are doing in SAP S4HANA? So let us going to see now. I'm sorry. So this is just only for demo, which have my server. But so this is a 2020 server, or 2021 server. Let me check. It is 2.0 version of a HANA database. Then you see it is an Unicode. Obviously, if you are doing new implementation, it will be an Unicode. So then going to the install provide version. So you see the on-premise edition is a 2020 edition. So then you have the Fury also a 2020 version. Okay. Now I'm trying to execute some. These are one of these transaction codes. Like say example XD01, creating a customer. When I'm trying to input the XD01 transaction code, immediately system populate a message, display the message at the bottom saying that a transaction a redirection to transaction BP has the XD01 is absolute. That means you cannot access anymore the customer master, the old screen by using the old transaction code. Okay. Similarly, if I want to create a vendor, I use XK01. Again, system shows the same screen, the same message. The only thing is the code here. Instead of X01, it shows XK01. Again, it shows a window which shows whether you want to create a business partner as a person, an organization, or a group. Say example, if you are trying to choose a person, the system display a new screen. This is called a business partner screen. Okay, and this partner screen will display you the relevant tab. When I say relevant tab, I enter the transaction XK01. In ECC, what it gives? Complete view, company code and purchasing. Whereas in XG01, it gives a company code and sales organization view. Right? In this case, it gives me only the company code. Why? Because as per the business partner concept, the screen is designed and controlled by this specific role called business partner role. You see, somebody has been named with their own name. Okay, but you can see it is a FI vendor, finance vendor. That means it will only show the company code details only. Okay. Similarly, if you go to the customer, sales and distribution, right? When you're trying to enter VD0 transaction code, it will also come to here this particular screen and land. It will show the sales and distribution view. It means this business partner completely controlled by using this role. Okay, the role you choose, so it will display the particular screen. Say example, you want to select a financial services BP. Again, you see some different screen. The company code is not no more valued. Okay. Similarly, there are some other roles like contact person creations. Where it is? Okay. Now this is standard one. It is a contact person creation. It shows the simple address screen. So this is how it is designed in the SAP S4HANA. This is nothing but it is a simplification. This is a simplification product. Am I clear? We are done with this point. We are going to the delta change. So what is mean by delta change? Okay. Now MB1C. Why use MB1C? To post the stock. Okay. So will it work in SAP S4HANA? It is absolute. You cannot post stock for a material or a plant in the plant. So if you want to, you need to go through MIGO transaction code. Similarly, yeah, delta change when I say means whenever there is an X value in your ECC, either there will be different value in the SAP S/4HANA or equivalent functionality available. So in ECC we use MB1C, in SAP S/4HANA we use directly MIGO. Okay, so this is the equivalent functionality. In some cases, there are changes also. What are those changes? Say example, output. There is a topic called output in sales and distribution. Okay, so the output is usually runs through a condition technique. It's a condition technique driven, which means a condition table, access sequence, and a procedure, output type, and so many things are there, right? So it runs on the NACE condition technique, the old output. So whereas in the S4 HANA we use a BRF plus or slash OPD, output parameter determination. So this BRF plus is not new to SAP. It is again the old functionality which is available in ECC, but they have been simplified here. In SAP S4 HANA, you will see both options. Either you can use a NACE, NACE is also available for you, okay, and you can also see the OPD, is the transaction code OPD, to use a new output process which runs only on the IP address. Okay, so it does not require your condition technique. Similarly, there are some other one more change. I'm going to give an example. Okay, so this particular transaction code we use to control the sales documents. Okay, so credit limit you are seeing, right? This credit limit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options are there. In ECC, you can use as a simple credit limit or automatic credit limit. or you can deactivate. You don't want to use, just leave it blank. But in SAP S4, if you're trying to use the simple credit limit, okay, and try to save, right? So this credit limit, it won't work in the SAP S4 HANA. Just a minute. So let me go into the credit management. I'm sure. SPRO. Right. See, if I am trying to use this credit limit, you see, I'm getting a message. That means I cannot use a simple credit limit check. Okay, I need to use either blank if I want to leave it, or else I need to use a D. ABC is ruled out. So this is a another change in the SAP S4 HANA. So these all changes are called a delta changes that we are going to discuss in the throughout the course. Okay. The next one is a HANA, which we discussed at high level. Okay, with different examples. Right. So there are some other minor functionalities which is more into technical, but I'll tell you called CDS view. Because CDS views or CDS core data services, which is again a technical miracle, where we use structures. We create a multiple tables and create a structures to display values. That I'll explain later in the classes. Okay. So then coming to the transition. Okay, transition process. What is a transition means? There are three type of transitions available. Okay, one is a green field, then brown, then coming to the LT, landscape transformation. Okay, green field or new implementation, both are same. So here brown field means ECC to SAP S4 HANA. So you are having one ECC system. Okay, so you are having one ECC system and you are converting into SAP S4 HANA. So then landscape transformation means what? What is my landscape transformation? So you have two ECC systems or three. Take it as a three. So you are converting into SAP S4 HANA, which is called landscape transformation. Okay. Why three? Because say example you have the NAM, okay, North America and Europe. Then you have the Asia Pacific, a packet. So you have three different systems. You are converting at a time into SAP S4HANA. So this is called a landscape transformation. So these are called transition processes. Then coming to deployment. So as we discussed, the first topic called on-premise and cloud. Okay. Again, cloud is again segregated into subcomponents, which is a public and private. Public means a common shared service or shared space between the two parties. Whereas the private means it's a only single. Okay. So this is a difference between the public and cloud and on-premise. We'll discuss in detail in the next classes on the on-premise, cloud, public, private, rise in SAP also. So there is one more concept called rise in SAP, which is newly evolved in the 2021 year. What is this? What is the difference between these all? We'll discuss in the next classes. Okay. Then coming to the last called theory. So this is the most important topic, and it is a highlight of this all. Okay. Why theory? What is the theory? Fear is something that you are going to run some transactions or reporting on the online, or online means a browser. Okay, so now we'll go to back to our square. So what I told, in SAP R by 3 architecture, right? In SAP S4HANA also we have R by 3 architecture, but we have one more layer I told you. That is nothing called Fury. Okay, it is equally placed on the presentation layer. It is not top but equally. Okay, and this Fury runs on the browser. Say example, I go here, SPRO. So this is a link to open. When I open the link, see it shows some information, and I execute the link. So once I execute, I see so much information, right? All these are called catalogs. Okay, and one catalog may contain multiple tiles. The white boxes are called tiles. See, likewise, there are 13,000 tiles available on the Fury. You can also add as part of customizing. From business point of view, this is a fantastic tool. Why? Because we are using, as I said, BW for reporting, and the second thing is you don't need to enter any transactions. Say example, I want to create an invoice. Okay, what I will do generally, I go to VF01 transaction code on the layer, V GUI layer, right? Representation layer. I just created billing document type. Okay, but whereas I'm sorry, here, so I just go like in the Google, the way I just type in the Google, right? I click on the billing, so I get the relevant tile. When I use that, when I identify that particular tile, it gives me the information. So I can create the billing document type from choosing the list of the sale document as a deliveries. So this is how it is been simplified to user. So it is a purely user friendly environment, the Fury. And I'll tell you the last important point. Okay, the Fury runs through your mobile app. That means you don't need to install the SAP logon pad also. Just you go, open your mobile phone, go to App Store, then just try to enter Fury. So you'll get that Fury app. But to access, you should have some credentials and everything. It is a different story. But yes, it can be deployed on your mobile phone just like your other apps which you are going to use. So these are all called features. SAP S4HANA important features. Okay. So during our syllabus, so I am going to cover all the SAP syllabus. When I say SAP syllabus, which is given by SAP, which is mentioned by SAP, those I am going to cover under the sales and distribution model. Okay, I'm just going to give the glimpse of the my syllabus. Okay, so as usual, the introduction. So we'll going to dig into more in the introduction on the HANA database. So then followed by the versions and types of versions, deployment types. What are the different strategies we use when you do implementations or system conversions? What are the methodology you are going to use, framework? Okay, so then coming to transition process, then we are going to start with the new implementation. When I say new implementation, you are going to I'm going to cover the define infrastructure, assign, then followed by the all the delta changes. Okay, when I am going to run some OT cycle, I am going to show you the all the delta changes of the particular transactions, wherever you see the delta changes. Okay, so then business partner creation. Why? Because we don't have custom master, right? So we used to create a business partner here. Then once we complete the business partner, we'll be jumping into the material master screen. Okay, covering the material master, output management, a new output management, and we are going to additionally we see the you can see the delta changes in the old output also. Okay, so coming to the next is a credit management. So earlier it is a part of your SG model. It has been moved to FSCM model, financial supply chain management, but still we need to learn something there. So then we call it the settlement management, which is uh, the new terminology or new configuration on the rebate. Earlier we use a rebate, which is a part of your SG model. It is given up. Now we are going to configure in the logistics general under the logistics general called settlement management. So we are going to settle the credit memos, followed by the revenue recognition and pricing changes, table level, access sequence, and other stuff. Advanced ATP, what are the changes between the advanced ATP and other minor changes. Uh, so, yeah. So coming to the other changes like theory, what is theory? Introduction to theory. What is the difference between the theory? How it is going to connect between the two layers, theory and GUI? But what is the software we use to connect it? Okay, and how do you design your own webs? How do you customize your tiles? What is the workflow concept? What is the role-based concept? Everything will be covered. What are kind of tiles available? And everything will be covered under the theory. So next is your migration scenario. So migration scenario will be covered as a part of your next transition process called brownfield approach. Okay. So during brownfield approach, we'll take one example of a master data. Either we take a vendor or a customer. Since we are from SD model, we'll take a customer and we create a customer master in the ECC. Then we'll convert the customer to business partner. So the normally the same activity we are going to do in the migrations. Okay, that we are going to see. And what is the cockpit? How do you use the cockpit? How do you uh, uh, run the cockpit to convert the customer to business partner? So this is going to be our understanding during the course. Okay. So what is the landscape? How do you convert like same as a migration? Then activate framework. So what is the activate framework? Why it is the difference between the SAP methodology? This we are going to understand. So additionally, which is not covered in this course, like an EDA, what are the changes on the EDA side? Then what are the changes in the sales process from right the way? See, there is one more PPT I can show you. Yeah. So what are the process point of change? Is there any changes in the process? What is the document flow? How it has been simplified? Okay. So is there any changes in the organizational structure or it remains same? And so followed by the again structure for sales and distribution and what are the fields? How do you extend the custom master in the SAP S4HANA from one company to another company code? Okay. So and material master changes. Then all this we are going to cover in the SAP S4HANA, including the foreign trade and export and imports also. Okay. Any doubts?
Hey Pradeep, you said those org structures and everything is not included?
It is included, right?
Oh, okay.
So we are going to cover as a part of a new implementation. We are going to cover when I say transition process, right? So as I said, we are first starting the new implementation. That means we need to start with the enterprise structure, which is given the service. Okay? So enterprise structure and what it is? Yeah, but define infrastructure as infrastructure. So during this course, we are going to see what are the changes between ECC and SAP server. Every topic, every topic, whatever, wherever I see there, I observe all the changes. I am going to show you in the both systems.
Hi, Pradeep.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So Pradeep, the course was good. I think we can relate with most of the things, right? So, but in our current company, right, current scenario, so we are getting into this HANA upgrade. So also the functionalities that we have been using in ECC for a very long time. I mean, those kind of functionalities are going to be, moved to HANA. They are talking about a lift and shift, right?
Mm,
So
mm.
what kind of fit gap they are doing, and and
And
that is one thing, right? So another thing is we know about SAP ECC migrations. Now we are hearing about HANA migration, right? So these kind of things, if you can, while during the course of this sessions, right, if you can focus more on this kind of topics, what issues will come, right?
yeah,
Of course, we need to learn the basics. That is no doubt about it. So that is why we are here. But our more interest will be in these kind of situations. Also, we have Karthik in this session, who is from finance, right? So it will do a little bit of good if you can touch upon some finance related things also, minimally, not very detailed, but that will be helpful for us to understand holistically these kind of things, right? So I mean, these are all of interest areas for us, Pradeep. So that's what I wanted to. I mean, we are hearing a lot of terminology, right, about all these code migrations and this. So these kind of things will be of interest to us because we, in our own project, we have developed our own codes for many of the automations, right? So we have engineering team. They will definitely take care of the developments that they have done at their end. But we also have engineering codes we have written, so that will be of interest for us because we own that those automations and that code, right? So all these things are going on as we speak, right? So we are trying to gather data, collect data, where we will be impacted. We use Power BI dashboards, right, today, and you were talking about some Fiori apps, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think tomorrow that. So the Fiori apps also have some representation and bar charts, pictures, those kind of things, or
Yes, yes.
that is also there.
Those are there. Yes,
It is there. Okay. So maybe those kind of things will be of interest because business users should be benefited. I think the Fiori apps are mainly for the users, right?
correct.
Business people, right? So that will be of interest because we need to have the data on the fly, right? So that is also very important. We have many dashboards. We have worked very hard and built all those dashboards today, right? So if we are going live with HANA and these kind of things will help us, that will be of interest for us, right? So definitely
Definitely.
we will talk more as we go along, but this is just a high level glimpse of what will be more relevant for us while we learn the basics.
I have a question, Srini. So, based upon the conversation with you, right? So, I understand that you are on SAP ECC, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And with on HANA database and non-HANA database.
Non HANA, I think it is not a
Yeah.
HANA database. Yeah.
So you are, if I am not wrong, you are on 6.0 version. You want to convert into SAP S4HANA on premise, not cloud, right?
Not very sure on that. I think we have cloud also, but I don't know. I'm
What is
not
the
very
scope
sure.
of your project? What is scope of project? So you want to move to cloud or on premise? You want to use Rise in SAP? Again, it depends upon the the migration you choose. So in this
Mm.
case, the one which you are explaining about your current company, right? So it is
Right.
a brownfield approach, okay, which is
Okay.
nothing but you're converting ECC to SAP S4HANA. So in
Right.
this
Correct.
particular process, there are two-step process. The first step is you are on already 6.0 version, right? So then
Mm.
the next is in database. So might be you are in some Oracle or SQL database, okay,
Oracle.
and
Yeah.
then you will need to convert. That means your basis consultant will convert first to HANA database. They don't migrate immediately the products. First, they'll convert the database. Later, they'll convert the products. Usually, when I did this implementation migration project, okay, so we used to follow some parallel car processing or mirror box in simple terms, where we keep the existing landscape as a reference. Then we build a new box to start the migration. Say example, you have development, quality, production, right? So development,
Right.
quality, and production will copy and we'll create another box. So in those box, we are going to start the migration. So that is how the approach which is recommended by SAP also. So during the journey of migration, right? From
Mm-hmm.
finance side, there is so much information that a finance team need to check in the simplification list, which will be given by SAP. Okay. For other models, non-finance models, there are there is minimal changes. I'm not talking about custom code. Okay. Let us forget about custom code or custom reports. I'm talking about the standard as is. So there is a only minimum impact. Yes, there are some delta changes, as I said, those we are going to configure before you migrate to SAP S4HANA. Like just an you need actually to understand. Coming to custom code, right? Custom code always, when you are on SAP ECC and HANA database, your ABAP, if you're having some tech dev team, right? So they will run some tools. So currently we call it a ABAP extract tool, but old name is a code inspector. So if you implement that SAP node on the HANA, so it will give you a detailed report what are the changes, which fields has been changed in SAP, so what is the length, what you need to adjust in the program language to work in SAP S4HANA. So this all report you will get from the code inspector. And for us, a function consultant, you need to refer a simplification list provided by SAP. Okay, so that simplification list normally you can get from the Google, and that will be model wise. You will get all the details. What are the changes? What need to do in the ECC to compact with the SAP S4 HANA. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
This HANA database is written in what language, Pradeep?
I have
Is it
not.
ABAP?
It is database is different. ABAP program is different. Okay. So normally in ECC also, your ABAP program it is same. ABAP program is an application layer. Okay. Database is different. Again, database. I don't know SQL or which database. What is the database they use?
Okay.
Database
Okay.
language. I'm not aware that technical.
Okay. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I had for today
Okay.
from my side.
Thank you, Srini. Okay. So I
Thanks,
think
Pradeep.
most of your colleagues are left. Okay. Thank you. Bye.